Okay, so this section is 8.4, recognizing absolute value functions and their properties. So let's take a look at what an absolute value is. So absolute value function is like f of x equal to, and then there's these huge long vertical bars, and then you're going to say absolute value of x. So absolute value of x basically does this. It says that for every value you put in here, that when you finally take the number out of the absolute value, that number becomes positive. So for example, if I said it was f of x equal to the absolute value of 4, then my answer would be 4. So f of 4 is 4. If I did f of x minus 2, then that would be the absolute value of negative 2, which in the final resort would be positive 2. So then my answer would be f of negative 2 is 2. So what's happening is anytime that when you have a final number inside the absolute value happens, when you take it out of the absolute value, it becomes positive. Now, if it was positive to start with, it just stays positive. But if it's negative and it's coming out, it becomes positive. And so that's a very, very unique property that absolute values have. And so they look kind of different when we do that. So if we made a table of the absolute value, so x and f of x, and we did negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So here's our values. And so you get 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. So here's what my table looks like. Then when I graph it, it looks quite different than most graphs. So I go over negative 2, up 2. I go over negative 1, up 1, over 0, 0, over 1, up 1, and over 2, up 2. So you can see that it's taking on this vertical straight V shape. We call it a kind of a V shape type of curve. And so that's another unique thing about the absolute value. It's the only one I can remember or even know of that actually does that. All the other curves do other stuff, but this one does not. Now if I wanted to do the interval notation of the domain and the range, then for the domain, it is going to have to be what? I'm going to keep going in this direction because the smallest number never occurs as this curve keeps going on and on and on. So it's going to be parentheses negative infinity to infinity. And then for the range, it starts at the lowest number, which is 0. So that's going to be a bracket actually of 0. And then it does go to positive infinity because it doesn't stop. It just keeps going, going, going because this curve keeps going, going, going. And so here is the interval and notation for the absolute value.